and I'm with Cultivate Consulting, and I work with food businesses, food business startups, and help food businesses get their product out into the world. So we had a concept workshop a month ago, and I met the folks from Colorado FoodWorks there, and it was a real pleasure to meet them, and they had such a great story that I wanted to invite them in and do a short interview and learn more about their story. So with us today we have Francisca, Megan, and Hannah, and then Charlie is the board founder and member, and he's with us today but taking social media photos on the side. So I want to just first start with a little bit about the program that you're in, which is with Colorado State University, which is where you all met, right? So Francisca, you're going to tell us a little bit about the program that you guys started last fall.
Sure, thanks for having us. So we're all part of the Global Social and Sustainable Enterprise Masters of Business Administration program. Very long words, but just GSSE MBA for short.
Okay.
And this is an MBA program where we focus on business for good. So as the name suggests, social and sustainable enterprise is our focus, and it's woven into the program. Unlike other MBA programs where you just focus on making money, which business should do, which we all still believe in, business should make profit, but we also focus on making an impact in business. And we started last year in the fall, and we will graduate December of this year. So it's an 18-month program. It's quite intense. We have all your normal MBA subjects, accounting, those things, and then we have big global social and sustainable enterprise subject that runs throughout the whole program, but it's also woven into every other subject. They support us to do some social enterprise research, basically from January to December, and then in the summer, very specifically, we need to do a little more research on social enterprise that needs to be viable. We want to do more than research. We want to start with
Actually go for it.
Yeah.
And how many people are in your cohort of them?
27 people in the cohort, and it's pretty international. I think it's about 40% international, 60% local.
So you're in the program and you're getting together with different, you pair up and then you decide to quadruple up.
Yeah.
So then what was the next process, the next step in this process? So you decided you want to start a company, and so you were talking about your purpose and your mission.
Yeah. So we kind of started off in a very general, like female empowerment, female inequality realm, and really looked at what are specific problems that we can find through research. So you research really all corners of the globe just to see what exists. And we found a lot of really common threads, which was intriguing to us. We found a lot of barriers around, for women specifically, have higher barriers to transportation, the workforce in general, smaller incomes, smaller formal networks which are available to help you get jobs, greater home responsibilities in childcare. Obviously, this isn't the same for every person. These are just common things we found. So we were like, wow, we can do anything, anywhere. It was just a very big, still high in the sky. So we, for several reasons, thought, let's go to Kenya and see what we can do. So we were getting our travel plans ready, excited to go, and then as this realization sunk in that these problems, the same problems that exist in Kenya, actually also do exist in the U.S. So we're like, why wouldn't we start with our own community? A lot of problems exist right here. So we really started to dig into northern Colorado. We found that in Colorado, 1 in 3 single mothers live in poverty, which is a huge number. So that's just a really huge problem right there. These mothers have to work 132 hours per week at minimum wage just to be self-sufficient if she has 2 children. So that's 27 hours a day, which, so, we're like, wow, that's a really big deal. That's right here in our home backyard. What can we do? What can we help provide a business solution to help impact this social problem? So researched that a little bit more. We all are also very big foodies and just love the local food scene here. We saw really a lot of industry promise for the local food scene and specialty food scene. So we came around this idea of why don't we start with pasta? There's not a local pasta here in town. It's something that we can teach. It really brings these ideas of joy and comfort and community and simplicity, which we feel like really can help with the social mission that we have of could we employ single mothers, hopefully alleviate some of these barriers, employ single mothers to make pasta and provide just a very supportive environment for doing so. So coming around to now, thinking about how we can do kind of a transitional employment model, just employ for a short period of time, and then funnel into more long-term gainful employment.
So teaching, the idea being to teach skills more than just pasta making.
Yeah,
a lot of learning.
Exactly. So we would have our employees do pasta making for say 70–80% of the time, and then 20–30% of the time we would be teaching a lot of skills that again we see are barriers to women in the workforce, especially lower income population. So a lot of kind of just computer skills and financial literacy and interviewing and getting their networks bigger, things that we have identified and talked to local partners about. So it would really be a skill building type of program, and then helping them get to long-term employment. So the idea would be, we want to sell the pasta as the revenue stream. So people in town even buying the pasta, you're also helping another woman kind of feed her family and
transitioning. I always love spending money. Like for every dollar I spend, but knowing that it's going.
Yeah. And also you're getting a really good, quality product that's locally made, locally sourced, you can feel good about.
So are you working with nonprofits then to kind of help with the training piece?
Yeah, so there's a lot of nonprofits in town that do a lot of great work and have different classes, work with these different populations that we want to employ. So it's really going to be about not reinventing the wheel and what are they already doing? We don't want to overlap. How can we supplement, fill gaps? We really see this employment gap. So, what types of training would we do? What types of training could they do? And just really kind of see what collaborations there are. So yeah, we've been meeting with a few nonprofits in town, just seeing what's possible.
Yeah, you might as well. You don't need to be a nonprofit and
right. Yeah. So really be mindful of costs. Also mention that delicate balance of social mission and profit, so we can scale and sustain and grow and impact more.
Absolutely. It's great to be passionate about your food and your product, but ultimately it is okay to make money, and that should be the goal to sustain your own lifestyle. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the pasta itself. You seem to be the person behind the actual product. Not that all three of you are contributing, but tell me about how you kind of developed, worked through some of the kinks around pasta.
Sure. So we spent the better part of the last 6 months on researching the problem, and so we have kind of just recently decided to go into pasta. And so I'd actually never made pasta before.
Okay.
So this was something that was going to be totally new for me. We all eat pasta. We all enjoy pasta. We're all a bunch of foodies, but I never actually, gotten in my kitchen and made a pasta from scratch. So it kind of just started with that. We decided that we wanted to take inspiration from local chefs and really understand, to them what makes a good pasta. So we met with a couple of local chefs, and we also went to New York and met with a chef there, making pasta alongside them, kind of learning what they think makes a good pasta. And what we kind of learned from that experience is that there is no perfect pasta. Everyone has a little bit different idea of what makes a good tasty pasta. And so that was interesting for us to kind of, be able to take a little bit from everyone, but realize that at the end of the day, it's really going to be what we want to start with and also what our customers like. And so it's really just been a lot of experimentation, making pasta every day, pretty much. Lots of flour everywhere.
The kitchen's probably
disastrous all the time. So yeah, we we've just started with very basic equipment, very basic recipes, and then had a little fun, did a little bit of experimentation. We've tried some sweet potato pasta, meat pasta, tried lemon, just continuing to work on finding that right recipe. And so right now we're in the process of kind of handing out our first set of samples to customers. One of the things that we learned in our program is kind of the lean startup approach, which is all about getting out the minimal viable product right away to customers, even if it's just our friends and family, just to really be able to get feedback early on before we invest a lot of time and money into a product. We want to know right away, what is the response to this, and do people want to buy it? And so for me, that's a little bit hard as a perfectionist because I want to have another product that's like perfect right away. But the reality is we need to be okay with just getting something out there, getting it in people's hands, letting them experience making the food and tasting the food, and then being able to just from there jump right back into the process of experimentation and the next pasta.
Do you feel like you have the minimum viable product now?
We we probably have a few. But yes, we've been making semolina pasta that has beets in there, so it's a deep pink pasta. That's really beautiful, and I think that's what we're going to be starting with our samples. But we definitely have quite a few other ideas as well. So I think it'll be nice to put a few different things out there and just kind of hear, what the feedback is from people, but also are there areas where maybe we need to educate customers more, right? For me, at least, I always just bought very simple pasta before I started making pasta. And now that I'm making pasta all the time, I want to try, all of these different types of pasta. So maybe even just learning how we need to present or market it, fill in knowledge gaps to customers.
Is this an egg-based pasta, the one you're going with right now?
So the one we're going with right now does not have egg. I have done some fresh pastas that have egg. Kind of the trend that I've seen is more fresh pastas tend to have egg, whereas a lot of the dried pastas don't.
Okay.
And so I made fresh pasta with egg, dried pasta without. That kind of seems to be working for us.
And is it spaghetti, fettuccine?
Fettuccine is what we're starting with.
Okay. So it's a dried
beef fettuccine.
All right. Good. Jason said you're going to bring samples.
We'll bring you some samples.
Good. So you're operating under cottage food right now.
We are.
Just to get the product out there and get tested. I know you have big plans for getting to restaurants and grocery store shelves, but in the initial cottage food, what's going to be your outlet?
Yeah, good question. So we want to start with farmers market. So it's dried pasta and test the product there and see how people respond to that. As you said, we have some big plans. I think after farmers markets, we'll probably see if we can get into the smaller shops here in Fort Collins. Once we get our license and get out of cottage food, start with smaller shops and then go into retail. And I think restaurants would also be a great way to get our product out there. What we've seen in New York is that some pasta companies started like that, where they sell fresh pasta to restaurants and then people like it and then they go into the dried pasta. So it's interesting seeing people's, the routes they take into selling pasta. But it seems like restaurants would also, there's definitely a market in restaurants.
Sounds like you talked to a couple of right? Because you're kind of doing community outreach to see.
Yeah, and Fort Collins is a cool space to be in just because the restaurants here really care about, or a lot of them really care about locally sourced and good quality ingredients. And we've met with several chefs so far, and they're just like really stress the quality of the ingredients that you're putting into your food. And a lot of the restaurants here, I don't know if you've been a part of Great Plates, the food bank does, and so there's a lot of restaurants that really care about supporting community. So it's just a really fun place to operate a business with a social mission, because it's just, especially pasta, it's something that so many people can come around. So yeah, we see some ends with restaurants hopefully, and then like Fran mentioned, small retail shops to start, and then just small steps, and then
take over the world.
Yeah.
I know you guys have mentioned that you're trying to source local ingredients. You found a local source for the wheat, I guess, at this point, or the beets as well?
That's still in process for us. A lot of our experimentation has just been whatever organic, like quality ingredients we can get our hands on for testing. But definitely we're in the works of getting setting local source for our ingredients. We would like to source both the wheat and any vegetables that we add to our pasta.
So how do you develop the packaging and the marketing to go along to tell the story? Because it's one thing, well, it sounds like a unique, beautiful product because it's beets. Obviously, telling the stories is a bigger challenge potentially in the market.
We have so many what we call value propositions that we're just like, we can put everything in our package and just put it all out there, but obviously that's not gonna work. So it doesn't matter choosing what people really care about and how to tell our story very succinctly. We first and foremost want to make our packaging very beautiful and just really bring in that essence of simplicity. So we're playing with different options right now, and that's a part of our lean startup model that Hannah talked about is part of our testing and giving product people, how do you respond to this packaging versus this packaging? But we definitely want to do a lot of imagery, so you can see, also being able to see the pasta, since we want to do really beautiful colors to make it really stand out. So
letting the pasta shine through, but somehow still getting the message across. So what are you going to package it in for the markets? Start with.
So to start, we have bags that we're just going to do with a very beautiful colored band around it. Okay. And then we've gone into a lot of grocery stores and talked to different pasta manufacturers around. And for instance, we talked to someone from Natural Grocers around what really works for shelves. So it's really important to think about putting labels on two sides of the box, like what's going to be more efficient for transportation. So boxes really seem to be the way to go.
Right.
To start, we're going to start with bags just for ease. Or just getting it out there for cottage food. But our goal would be to do boxes.
It's such an important point because I know at Whole Foods Market, I worked with some people who have beautiful package, bottled dish or a cleaner, but it was so tall, it doesn't fit on the shelf.
Yeah.
Right? It's really beautiful to look at, but it physically doesn't fit on the shelf.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do pasta, and you're like, we're going to revolutionize, we're going to have a stand-up pasta, right? It wouldn't be able to fit on a grocery shelf.
She was saying if it's too hard for the person stocking the shelves, they'll just stop carrying it. Right? It's going to be too much of a pain. So it is important to think about that we can write that out before we talk to her.
The four of us have gone to retail stores, and then we would just stand in front of the shelves and talk to each other about which ones stand out, which ones look best. So you think about the boxes, but then sometimes the bags are so pretty and labeling is pretty. But I think something that we've all seen is that if you can see the pasta, that makes a big difference. So we really want to incorporate that, be it in a box or a bag. Seeing the pasta makes a difference. And as Megan said, we have really pretty pasta, so we want to show it.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. So you've talked about becoming a B Corp, which that's a public benefit corporation. So maybe tell us a little bit about why have you chosen to go that direction, or that you want to go in that direction?
Yeah, sure. So the legal entity, we're in the process of deciding exactly what we want to do with that. We want to choose the right entity so that we can go forward and grow. Under the Cottage Food Act, the sole proprietorship is fine.
Sure.
So for now, we're going to go that route and then really do some proper research about what entity would support our business model, our social mission. And the idea of a public benefit corporation is to have a for-profit business, but with a social mission. And basically, once you're big, that your shareholders can also support the social mission. It's not just for making profit. So in theory, I think that's a really good idea, but we've heard some people in the business saying that people are not sure what to make of public benefit corporations. The name is a public benefit corporation. Is that still a for-profit? What do you do?
Right,
so it's still such a new concept that it sounds like it's not really recognized everywhere. So the other idea we had was looking at either an LLC or a corporation, and then being certified by B Lab as a B Corp, which is certification versus being a public benefit corporation is two different things. Public benefit corporation is a legal entity, and certification is just a stamp. That kind of like a USDA organic stamp or a B Lab stamp, or a B Corp stamp. And that's pretty rigorous standards that you have to meet in terms of sustainability, social impact, and so on. And it's becoming very well recognized, the lab certification. So I think that's the route we will go, probably, being a for-profit, sustaining ourselves through earned income, and then having a be lab.
Should they thing in Ireland too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's again a good spot to be.
I think Colorado has the most certified B Lab companies in the world. Yeah.
It's almost like a community of B-Lab companies. That was one of the advantages we saw, is that we were at Boulder Startup Week a few weeks ago, and we went to a meeting on that, and there were quite a few companies there that are all B-Lab certified. It was interesting how once they took the time to go through that process, their business improved. So they just opened the door to working with other B-Lab companies that they would have never had access to. So there's some benefit there too, as far as kind of being able to get into that community of other business owners who want to do business.
Right, you all want each other to see program this. Yeah. Support systems are really important in starting a business, whether it's entrepreneurs or B-Lab. If you're all, think about it, just doing this individually, isolating time.
Yeah.
So definitely recommend, whether it's official partners or not, but having support some form.
Yeah, and not reinventing the wheel. I think there are so many people already doing great things, and partnering with them is way easier than starting on your own. Yeah, especially because we have so many different parts of our business. It's not just pasta making. So many different aspects of the business that need to come together for this to be successful. We really need support in the form of partnerships.
So I know you had some resources and help through CSU. Did they help design your logo, or did graphic artists?
No.
Great job, Charlie.
Our media, we really have time for design and again bringing that simplicity but like beautiful and storytelling to it. So
Good. You captured the essence of
yeah.
your mindful. That's a great logo.
I think CSU really just provides the platform saying, hey, meet each other and now go do something. So, yeah, for the rest, we really, and we have great mentors at CSU. We really do. We have good professors help us throughout this process. We have an entrepreneur in residence, serial entrepreneur in Denver that meets with us every now and then, which is really great. But in terms of doing the actual work, it's definitely down to the four of us.
Okay. Yeah. So the timeline, kind of rough timeline, is start markets. So you have your goal when you start the first market.
Our markets we're kind of still working on, but what we're really looking to start with immediately are some community events. Okay. So we want to host several pop-up pasta events this summer. And so we're planning to partner with local chefs who will use our pasta to make delicious foods, and then we'll invite the community in for these events to get some feedback and start to get a little bit of a community following. So that's going to be kind of one of our main priorities. And then we're a little bit late in the season for farmers markets, but there's still a few that have space. Okay. So as soon as we can get our product out there a couple of times and get it tested with customers, then we'll be moving into farmers markets as well.
Well, it's definitely not too late for markets themselves as far as lots of markets. Yeah. But maybe there's some ways you can partner with another, see if we can get you partnered with somebody else so you weren't just on your own.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't get it
Yeah.
as a small organization.
Yeah, we've kind of thought about that a little bit, like there's some products so we could help that business promote theirs, like, different cheeses or something. Beer or wine or, what else do you pasta with, and, how can we help their business too?
Yeah, that's my news about that. Okay, so let's do some community events, farmers markets, and then so you're graduating in December, so you're gonna be finishing up programs. But do you see going in starting full production this fall?
Yeah, we hope so. Yeah.
Good.
We hope to start properly.
Trying to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
So little about commissary kitchen.
Yes.
Formal thing will be health department.
Yeah. Yeah, we hope to get the health department process started by the end of the summer so that we can go into the fall. Hopefully licensed, yeah.
CSU has some good resources there too, like their food laboratory can help with a lot of the nutritional content.
Okay, sure.
Stuff that will definitely utilize that.
Well, it's not required for like using a certain amount. If you want to get into grocery stores, consumers generally want that.
Yeah.
And we want to be as transparent as possible too, and just like, here is what we're doing, here's what we're saying.
So when do you hope to actually hire labor force?
We just had a meeting this morning actually about that. We're probably gonna pilot this summer for public pasta, just have a few women come public in and just kind of again lean start test that model and just see. And then after that, I think maybe this fall gonna get just very like one or two people going, you know, not gonna bite off more than two, but
So we talk about it in the workshop, and in general, we talk a lot about all the hats that you have to wear as a business owner, and certainly with Gordon, we can share those hats a little bit. But there's a payroll about you're going to deal with having employees.
yeah, so yeah, that's a big key in itself, is just managing employees and all of that. So we're looking into what makes sense for the population that we're trying to hire. You know, what is an appropriate wage, what is an appropriate hours per week, are they part-time, full-time? So it also depends on who we're partnering with, or the nonprofit kind of end funnel. So yeah.
But figuring out, the question is always like, what do you outsource and what do you do? Finding a balance.
Yeah.
Sometimes as a business owner, you just have to do it all and figure it out.
So I think that's one of the things, with us being a social enterprise, is to find that delicate balance between being able to be like a viable business, but also provide enough labor, provide enough work for women to do, to achieve our social mission. And so that's constantly like going to be a trade-off for us, is because the more labor you have, obviously the more money you need to spend, but that's our mission. So trying to strike that perfect balance.
And in terms of outsourcing, we have a diverse set of skills between the four of us. So I think until the end of the year, we'll probably be fine with things like payroll, I hope.
Yeah.
And then hopefully, obviously as we grow, we'll definitely start outsourcing because we can't be it.
Sure. There's a lot of great organizations locally that offer different classes, so it will be a matter of like, who already offers ones, we don't want to double up or recreate the wheel, as Karen mentioned. So what training and skills are we going to teach, and what can we have community help with?
So marketing, you've done. Where can people find you as far as going out if they want to look you up? You're on social media, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, and then you have a website as well. So what's the information there?
So the website is easy. It's coloradofoodworks.com, or one word, lowercase. And then from the website, you can go to all our other social media like Instagram, Facebook, and we have a blog which we update very regularly. Megan's writing our story, which is really nice. We have 10 chapters at the moment. It's awesome. I love it. And we have also just weekly updates of what we're going through and what we're doing and what we're learning. So we really try and keep the blog up there. I think for our own sake as well, just to see how we grow. It's interesting, you feel sometimes I feel we're not moving fast enough. But when you go through these things, you say, hey, there's actually pretty big progress made.
That's only 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
When did you guys actually start saying like we're going to do this for a business?
Well, we've been saying we're going to be a real business since we joined forces, but we didn't know what that business was.
Okay.
So that's the newer development, is actually starting the business and starting the product.
Oh
No.
January would be when we decided that, and then
I think mid-May, like more towards the end.
And in May, we
May,
decided
we
on the product.
April.
April.
Yeah. Let's go for it.
I suppose, yeah. It was, towards the end of April. We chose pasta.
So fairly fairly new.
Yeah.
Really new, yeah. But yeah, as we mentioned, our Instagram is at Colorado_FoodWorks. Yeah, it's just a fun thing to go through and check out.
Doing a blog is so great because documenting your story.
Yeah.
You're creating learning for other people. You're capturing time where you're learning.
Yeah.
That's important for us, just like, all of us are very collaborative, and like, how can we, again, we're doing a social mission business, so how can we give back even through like, oh, this was a huge fail, like learn from us, and other startup founders have done the same for us, which we find so helpful. Like, I wish I would have known this.
Right.
So it's just really helpful in this case to have that and then give back.
So that's a great segue. What would your learnings? I know sometimes you're saying you still feel like you're in the concept phase, which is all the research and deciding whether this is a good idea. You decided that it is a good idea. So you're going ahead. So you're bridging now into what I call the development phase, where you're getting the licenses, you're testing the product, you're ready to put it out in the world. So even though it's been a short period of time, is there anything you would have done differently, or something you would recommend to a new food business startup?
I think start as soon as possible.
Just start.
Start doing it. I think all of us are perfectionists, and then that holds you back to a certain extent. Just start, do it, try it, and then learn from that. And our professors say this the whole time, and we heard it 10,000 times, and we still didn't start immediately, right? So I can't say that, just start as soon as possible. I think what also helps for us is to really just choose some roles for each of us and say, hey, Hannah, you are really good with food, and we think you should run with the product. Right. Megan, you are amazing in the community, and you have so many connections, and you should run that. That really helped us map our paths.
Yeah, it's a great point to find your strengths and find the balance. And I generally recommend having at least one partner in any business.
Yeah.
But in a food business, in particular, you can't. And hopefully, you're not exactly the same, right?
Yeah.
Everybody brings something different.
Yeah.
I think going back to what Fran mentioned, we had one professor tell us, because we were just researching, like, what do we want to do? What's the perfect, just waiting for it to come to us. And he said, just open a door and walk into a room. And once you're in the room, once you've made a decision and you've entered the room, all these other doors will open. So we were like, okay, we're gonna make a decision, and we did, and all these other doors open, and we're like, wow. So just do it, yeah. It's really true.
I think my count would be about the emotional roller coaster. Maybe it's just because my focus is so narrow right now on the product. And some days I have these days where I make something and I just don't like it, and I get really frustrated. And I think just being able to be like, okay, that was yesterday. Now today I'm gonna make something great. And just being able to, let yesterday go, start fresh the next day. And that's my perspective, because I'm so focused on one thing right now. But just being able to be like, okay, I have that day. Right, tomorrow will be better.
You're actually dealing with the physical.
The physical product. So you have to just kind of be like, okay, there's going to be those highs and lows, and keep going forward.
But it is, in any business, you're just putting your whole self out there. You're being really vulnerable.
Yeah.
It can be very emotional. Jarring sometimes.
It's a good point. Being vulnerable and putting everything in, and just, I would also say choose your friends.
Yes.
It makes things easier to really work with people that you love and trust, and I think it's a lot harder if you partner with someone for business sake.
Right.
So you spend so much time together, you need to think together, and you need to work together, and you need to, So.
It is essential. It's pretty close to a marriage.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's legally binding. Choosing your friends. Very important. So would you consider yourself serial entrepreneurs? Do you feel continue?
It is funny being just in a program that's very entrepreneurial focused. Like, everything I see, I'm like, oh, I want to run with this idea. I want to run with that idea. And it's just like, you get addicted to ideas. Or maybe that's just my personality in general. But it is like, you kind of look for opportunities and then like see it. Oh, I could do that. And it gives you the confidence to be like, I could do that. I think I speak for myself, but I think all of us are really wanting this to work and put all of ourselves into this. So
Sure. I love that though, that you're training yourself to see opportunities.
Yeah.
Which I think sometimes, some people just go to work and they're just narrow focused. And now you're seeing you're essentially solving problems. Right?
Yeah.
It's like start seeing problems everywhere.
yeah.
Oh, I can fix that.
Yeah.
And then so we've been told over and over and over, like start with a problem, like see a problem, don't just put something out there that isn't going to add value.
Right.
So you just start to see the problem. And you're like, oh, can I fix that?
Right. Think about all those amazing inventions. I wish I would have invented a chocolate.
Yeah.
These are simple things. Oh, great. Are you gonna? What about the rest? Serial entrepreneurs, or?
I've always struggled with the word entrepreneur, and I remember, and this is really just from my perspective, it's not an American perspective. I think coming from South Africa, I always, when someone said they're an entrepreneur, I would think, oh, you just can't find a job. It's terrible. I know it's terrible. But as a kid, that's what I thought. So I never thought of myself as an entrepreneur. But I come from old school conservative one profession that kind of place. So this is a new experience for me. And who knows what happens after this. So I don't know. I like the idea of being a serial entrepreneur, but I think sometimes I tend to go back to things that make me feel more comfortable, like profession. But maybe not. I mean, I'm a lawyer, so I problem solve. So this is just a different kind of problem solving. Yeah.
For me, I would agree with Megan that I'm serial when it comes to concepts and ideas. I just love to live in the world of concepts and ideas. But this is the first time in my life where I've been in a situation where I have like the right support systems, the right time in my life. I have the right resources where I'm like, wow, I could actually turn an idea into a business. And I think this is giving me the confidence to start to see maybe some of those other ideas as actual business opportunities, not just something that I toy around with. So in that sense, I think just having the confidence is everything.
Well, I wish you all the best of luck.
Yeah.
Excited about the samples and seeing you out in the world and shouting out, being a big fan of yours. So, so again, where can people find you online? And
Find us at www.coloradofoodworks.com, and our Instagram is @Colorado_.
lots of great pictures. You had a trip recently to New York, and I'm sure there'll be more pictures to come as to how they're developed and out in the world. And so people can find out about community events and things like that.
Yeah, so sign up on our email list for the pop-up pasta and we'll send out dates.
And I wanted Charlie to pop in and just come over and wave. Give a wave. So Charlie does, you're the guy behind social media, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, there's Charlie, the lone male and woman.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't important for you.
He's very important on this team.
But probably nice to have a little different perspective too.
Totally.
So, and you can find me at cultivate-consulting.com. And if you're looking at starting a food business yourself, I do have a free business evaluation, so you can get a little bit more understanding of where you're at in the concept phase. And I also offer a free consultation. So if you want to chat with me, you can find me at cultivate-consulting.com. And I want to thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Great conversation.